Our next speaker comes from Etisalat Digital, based in Dubai, UAE. Now, Etisalat Digital is the business unit of Etisalat, is driving digital transformation by enabling enterprises and governments to become smarter through the use of the latest technologies like cloud, cybersecurity, IoT, omnichannel, artificial intelligence, and big data and analytics. And our next speaker is Mr. Pramod Kashyap, head of IoT mobility, and he has over 20 years of experience in the area of technology. Hello, Pramod. Just to give a quick introduction to you. So Pramod says he keeps abreast of all the emerging technologies that are very hot right now, including 5G, AI, and drones. And he has a penchant for adopting all these technologies for automotive and mobility verticals. Okay, Pramod, take it away on your presentation, and you're going to talk about your business challenge for Etisalat Digital, which is 5G-enabled urban mobility intelligence. Okay, Pramod, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Billy. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pramod Kashyap. As Billy rightly introduced, I'm part of Etisalat Digital, which is basically a digital arm of Etisalat, which is an incumbent mobile operator in the Middle East. So I'm just going to share the screen now in order to, Billy, just let me know if you're able to see the screen. Okay, yes. Great, excellent.
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. So without further ado, let me just start off with the particular topic for the challenge, 5G enabled urban mobility intelligence. My presentation would be a combination of first few slides would be more in terms of what we currently do, just to set up the base, and then we go into the challenge itself, and then we wrap it up with a Q&A. So Etisalat, this is going to be the agenda, introduction to our company, what Etisalat Digital does, and what we've been doing, the problem statement, and then we're going to give some information about what exactly we're looking for, and then the formalities in terms of which already you must be knowing about it in terms of evaluation criteria, deadline, and then wrap it up with a Q&A. So Etisalat Digital, as it was formed in 2016-17 timeframe. That was when just like any other telco would want to actually monetize from the data revenue, because obviously you feel that the voice revenue is going to actually being stagnated. So that's when Etisalat Digital was formed, and over a period of these years we actually have grown a lot in terms of we having a 1.5 billion revenue with a 7 billion plus total contract value in terms of TCVs. We've got around 400 plus digital experts in the different domains, like the likes of health, and then transportation, retail, and so on. So on what you see at the bottom are the different horizontals. For example, we've got a cloud department, which actually provides solutions on cloud and hosting. And then we have cybersecurity. We have IoT, which is IoT and AI, digital marketing. And then we have mega projects, in terms of we are the premium partner for Dubai Expo 2020. And we also have handled big projects over here in UAE. And then Future Now is our incubation program, wherein we actually run similar kind of challenges here in UAE, and the marketing team actually drives that forward as well. In terms of IoT mobility, because I think we'll focus on this particular domain, which is relevant to our discussion. So we began with actually we have an IoT platform. We've invested in an IoT platform hosted in UAE. And on this platform, we develop products and services so that we take it up to our enterprise and business customers. And so on that, we have developed a fleet management application already there, and we are providing fleet telematics services to our customers. We've got around 20,000 plus vehicles already onboarded, and then we are providing these services. We are also providing video telematics and then ADAS functionalities for collision avoidance systems. With the cusp of 5G, now we are looking at actually providing autonomous vehicles and CV2X kind of applications and use cases as well. Because obviously, if in this particular vertical, if you are aware, you have DSRC and the CV2X, which are the two different technologies for vehicle-to-vehicle communication. We want to actually work on the CV2X part, wherein we've got our partners who are part of 5G AA Alliance, and then we want to actually take up these use cases to the market as well. So from 2021, all car manufacturers who are providing vehicles to this part of the world, DCC specification, should be equipped with eCall. We should have an eCall functionality with the SIM being there. So Etisalat, actually, we've discussed with global telecom providers and also global manufacturers of vehicles, the likes of Tesla, Toyota, Nissan, Mitsubishi, and so on. So wherein we are providing connectivity for their connected car projects. So you have the likes of GM that already has something called an OnStar, wherein it's beyond eCall, wherein we are trying to provide Wi-Fi connectivity as well in the vehicles. There is Tesla, to whom we are actually providing infotainment along with the connectivity as well. So there are a whole lot of services that we are providing over and above the connectivity. So this is an extension to what we actually do on the connectivity side. As I mentioned about earlier, we already have an IoT platform, which we call it as a smart mobility platform. Here we have one marquee reference we have is basically from a customer called Emirates Transport, who are, it's a government customer. And over here, their problem was about actually a fragmented approach. They had different subsidiaries managing different fleet management providers. So everything's brought together. And then now we've got around 20,000 plus vehicles onboarded onto the platform, and we provide them as one dashboard, one contract deal with, and one SLA. What we also did was Emirates Transport is also in the business of school transportation. So there are school buses that go around, and the solution required there was to actually equip these school buses with digital cameras and motion sensors, because there were incidents of school children left behind in the bus, which led to serious consequences. So the motion sensor picks up information about the vehicle, about the student which is being left behind. It provides back-end alerts to the operations room so that corrective action can be taken. Next one is what we actually are trialing now on the 5G CV2X area. We've got an Emirate of Ajman, which is basically in UAE. So here we are working on a level 3 autonomous shuttle, wherein there is a corniche. Actually, you can see the picture over here. This is a stretch of a road which is next to the beach that has hotels lined up. So we have identified preset routes between two hotels, length of around 3 kilometers. And there's going to be a shuttle bus, which will be moving around the Corniche road on this road between the hotels. So it's basically, it'll have hop on, hop off for tourists, wherein they get on in one place, they get off at a bus station that's there. And what we're also doing to the autonomous part as well, we are integrating with the V2X. So in a particular area, there is an intersection wherein vehicles would get onto the main road. So we are actually simulating a green corridor so that once the vehicle is approaching, once the shuttle is approaching the traffic signal, it automatically, the signal turns green, so that you don't really have much of a hassle dealing with the joining traffic from the side. So that's something that we are actually trialing and working on towards the autonomous vehicle project. So now, as I mentioned earlier, 5G for us is big. So we have actually rolled out, I would say around 70% of the nation today has outdoor 5G coverage, and we are increasing this constantly. So, and if you look at any of the industry research reports, it says that automotive transportation is the vertical that's going to actually drive 5G adoption as well in the B2B segment. Of course, if you go to the consumer segment, you'll have the likes of multimedia streaming and all those things that will drive 5G. But on the business to business segment, transportation and automotive vehicles are actually supposed to drive 5G, thanks to the connected cars that we saw in terms of e-call, thanks to autonomous vehicles that's going to be, come up very soon. So what we want is actually to look at using 5G to enhance the mobility intelligence of connecting these vehicles. Because see, now we already have a platform that is having a good amount of vehicle base that is actually reporting about all the vehicles that are giving us data. Now, how can we leverage 5G and use our platforms to make traffic better, make the conditions, to get rid of congestion on the streets of Dubai. So we want to actually work with the traffic regulators as well, and also with our own enterprise customers in terms of offering services and solutions on top of what we currently offer, in order to make situational awareness and to make faster decision making on the road. So for us, the problem statement is, how might we leverage on 5G to enhance urban mobility intelligence, connecting vehicles and the transport system in real time for better decision making on the road? It can be integration with the cameras that are there on the roads, cameras that are there in the vehicles. It's a combination of all those things and leveraging our platforms. So what exactly are we looking for here? Now, if you see, the next level of intelligent transportation systems, or the ITS, will be using RSUs, the roadside units that may be there, integrating with the onboard units that may be there in the vehicles, and then assimilating and synergizing this data through a platform, and then providing real-time information to the users on the road. So it can be through HMI, human-machine interface, that vehicles may already have, or it can be through a mobile app, which Etisalat already has, and it gets populated over there and gives the information to them. So we are looking at solutions, we're looking at ideas, basically, wherein how can we combine and get all these things, all these siloed or independent data that's there, and bring them all together. And of course, we are looking at not as an on-prem solution, we are looking at a cloud-based solution itself, because our platforms are installed on the cloud. So one of the requirements that we have as a regulated telecom provider is that the data sovereignty should be there. I mean, like, it shouldn't really be leaving the country. So we would want to really look at a scenario of having applications available on our platform. So this is something that we always encounter, wherein it may be on Azure, because, by the way, we already have an Azure tenant in Etisalat cloud, and we are working towards having a AWS tenant as well. So that's something that that's required. Now, interoperable with existing applications. As I mentioned, we have a existing platform and we have applications, or it can also be third-party applications that we may actually foresee to have in the future as well. So the idea or the solution that you're going to propose should be interoperable, meaning, it should be having APIs and SDKs available so that we actually can use them in order to make it interoperable with the existing systems. Communication with third-party data sources. Today, UAE, very much similar to Singapore, is a extremely tech-savvy nation. It boasts of having an AI minister itself. And there is a lot of impetus and a lot of focus provided to the government agencies on each vertical, including transportation. So we should be able to actually have integration capabilities and communication done with the third-party data sources on the government side, and also on the private side. Let us say we may need to really work with certain, let us say, battery companies that are actually offering services. It can be to certain, roadside assistance companies that are providing assistance. So we need to really get information from all these sources as well. And of course, the most important stuff is the autonomous vehicle. Now, one of the things that we actually see is, in the area of autonomous vehicle, all the OEMs, they seem to have their own platform. They have their own platform wherein they look at how can we leverage our platform itself. Now we want to actually see a scenario wherein we can retrofit a solution and make a existing vehicle autonomous. So we want to actually look at that kind of a scenario, and we are encouraging solutions and ideas on that stream as well. So this is more in terms of what are the things that are there. It should really have more of an intuitive interface, as in it should be rich in graphics basically, and it shouldn't really have much of a cluttered interface. Accuracy is important for us because, of course, it all boils down to mission critical applications, because it would let's say, for example, if you're actually trying to let them know that you can make, let's say, signal phase and timing is a typical use case that we see, and if it is not accurate, you'll have a vehicle actually trying to go forward and trying to make the signal, but if it's not accurate, it may result in chaos and an accident. So it has to be really accurate and reliable as well. It should be an open system, of course. It should not really be a proprietary one, because, as I mentioned again, interoperability is very important. We should be able to actually have easy communication between the systems. It should be seamless there as well. Security, yes, I think this is needless to say, because I think as many of the research reports and news that you see, the next 9/11 kind of a scenario is expected from hacking connected vehicles, and then like making major disasters. So security is really a key thing. So we need to ensure that the solution that we are being shown is actually an extremely secure environment as well. So what we're actually looking at is more in terms of, we don't want to actually have B2C kind of a scenarios wherein it can be like an infotainment, or it can be a Wi-Fi kind of a thing given to the consumers. It has to be more in terms of a B2B2C. For example, our customers would be our enterprise customers, who in turn can offer this as a revenue stream to their end users. So that's the kind of information that we are seeking. So this is what is in it for you. I mean, in terms of all the benefits, I'm sure you already know about it. IMDA must have actually reached out and must have provided the information to you already on this. In addition to all this, what you actually get is about ability to showcase, ability to be a partner of Etisalat, and then possibly have a joint go-to-market, like wherein we look at jointly taking the solution to the market, and then being a government entity, we also have good working relationship with the government transportation regulators and agencies. So it's going to be more in terms of working together, collaborating, and then taking the solution to the UAE market together. And not only that, of course, yes, in terms of, if you look at most of the solutions in the Middle East, UAE seems to be the flagship. The kind of, everyone looks at UAE in terms of driving innovation, in terms of adopting latest technology. And you have Saudi Arabia, which is a neighboring country, and it is opening market to that, which is far more wider, far bigger, and getting access to a country like Saudi Arabia is one of the key benefits that you may actually see, because Etisalat also operates as an entity in these countries as well. So we are a legal entity in Etisalat. Digital is a legal entity in Saudi Arabia as well, headquartered in UAE. So you have an opportunity to expand and move into the other geographical areas of the Middle East. So the evaluation criteria is something that, which is already kind of discussed. We need to see to what extent the proposed solution addresses the problems that we have kind of identified. And also it should be, to see what is the readiness. It shouldn't be that, okay, fine. Let's say for 5G, we know that there may be certain instances. I mean, if I were to actually talk about this 1 year or 2 years earlier, I would have said that, now, you know what, the modules are just not ready for 5G yet. Qualcomm is still working on it, but now, we are in a much better situation now with the advancement of certain modules and hardware available. So I think whatever you're proposing and ideating, it should really be ready as well, in terms of it should be tangible to take it. In terms of solution advantage is how effective it is, how innovative it is. For example, as I said, we already have an IoT platform. We have a M2M SIM management platform. So we would want to leverage on this in addition to the solution that's being proposed as well. And in terms of the company profile, and then what exactly is the revenue traction, as I mentioned about the joint go-to-market, we can look at the different models in terms of how to address revenue streams. It can be more of a wherein for every license is sold, for every per vehicle per month, more an OPEX model, or it can be a one-time CapEx expenditure that can be done. So the model itself can be discussed and arrive at.
Pramod, sorry to interrupt, but you have just
Yes.
about 1 minute more. Sorry about that.
Perfect. I think I'm done. So I think the deadline is 30th July, and then please we solicit information from your side in terms of addressing the challenge that we have put forward. So with this, I'm going to rest my presentation, and then I'll be happy to take any Q&As that you may have.
Okay, thank you very much, Pramod, for a very interesting presentation on the problem challenge from Etisalat Digital, which is 5G enabled urban mobility intelligence. As you can see, he has given a very thorough explanation of what they're looking for. So right now we don't have any questions in, but don't worry. If you have any specific questions for Pramod and for the challenge from Etisalat Digital, do look out for the forum that's on our OIP portal, which is at www.openinnovation.sg, and look for the challenge, which is 5G enabled urban mobility intelligence by Etisalat Digital. Thank you very much, Pramod. I understand it's still morning in Dubai, right?
Yeah, it is.
I hope I am not interrupting your breakfast, but anyway,
no, not at all.
Enjoy. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I think you gave a very good presentation. So we look forward to having more submissions for your challenge. Thank you very much, and we'll move on to the next speaker on today's schedule. Thank you, Pramod. Thank you very much.